Greetings, Taffers. Thank you so much for submitting all your questions. I have 89 of them to answer. And my very capable, right-hand person, Carolyn, will be reading out the questions because it's a pile of them. So we'll see how far we get today, and I'll do more as needed. All right.
So the yellow highlighted one.
Whatever you want.
What was your biggest fear prior to diagnosis, and has living with cancer changed that fear?
No. Living with cancer has not changed anything fear-wise. My biggest fear before was probably just dying of something horrible like ALS or something like that. The thought of being trapped in your body and dying that's pretty significant. But things have changed since I had those particular fears, because we have all kinds of palliative care that will take care of pain and suffering and everything else. So I fully expect to just sort of fade away in a drug haze.
Which leads to, are you afraid of the unknown, of what comes next? That's question number 8.
No. As, a long time atheist, I don't think there is anything after. We're chemicals. We can't survive our own death. Our consciousness does not survive lack of brain activity. So, I don't, I just, it's like it's over. When it's over, it's over.
So, question 15, along the same lines, are you afraid of dying? I guess not. And are you in pain?
No, I'm not in any pain. I'm totally fucked off, but my legs don't work. but I'm not in any pain.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Question 41 says, okay, I agonized over these. Is there a timeline? Officially no more treatment? Are you at peace or are you angry?
Well, I'm definitely not angry. I'm quite certain I'm at peace. I don't have any anxiety or anything even remotely like that. And what was the first part of the question?
Is there a timeline?
Technically, no, because nobody knows when they're gonna die, kind of thing, and until it's like imminent. But I am on 2 drugs. One's a bone builder to keep my bones from crumbling, which isn't totally working, but whatever. And I'm on another drug called Kadcyla, which is a combination of 2 drugs that one of them I've been on before, the other one I haven't. And it is the best they have for extending life. There's obviously no cure, but it's the best they have for extending life.
And this is basically along the same lines. Question 74, are you afraid of the unknown or of what comes next?
No. There's nothing next. And I think that is probably what gives me the most peace, if you want to call it that, or that's what makes it so that I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about punishment after I die. I'm not worried about, anything. And to be perfectly honest with you, the thought of perpetual consciousness sounds terrible to me. Like, absolutely awful. It's like, well, who would want that? Eternal consciousness. I'd rather be Stardust. I honestly would. I would rather just return to the earth, or return to the earth or be scattered somewhere, which is the same thing, really. But yeah, I have no illusions, I guess.
Anything else you want to say about on death and dying before we wrap this segment up?
There's probably more in there. On death and dying, there are questions in there about that, I know already. So, you know, like I've said this right from the beginning, right from when I first got diagnosed in February last year. You know, I am far more fascinated by the processes that happen. You know, whether it's treatment or you know, illness or whatever that comes with this thing, this cancer. You know, I'm just so much more fascinated than fearful, and I guess that's the only message I really have about death and dying, is that everybody dies. Everybody. Some people are lucky enough to know a rough timeline. You know, from all the literature I've read, I've got a year, maybe 2. Just depends on what happens with the drug. If it does what it's intended to do. And if it doesn't, I could be dead in 6 months. Like, it doesn't, you know, as long as I get my will put together, I really don't care. But, you know, because it's not me, right? I'm only participating while I'm here. After I die, it's up to everyone else to do the grieving and the, you know, the work, the hard work. I have nothing to do. I just
Kick off.
Take the drugs and die.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
More on death and dying in our next segment.